to go to school for a long, long period of time. You can well imagine the stress it goes through, and the effects are still evident today. So we know that we cannot avoid getting stressed, as it is a part of our daily lives. But we can truly cope and reduce stress. One of the best ways is that we should regularly talk about stressful feelings to a trusted adult or a friend and get some support. You can take a light jog or go for a walk. And maybe you can read a book while listening to some good light music. These small little ways can help you make a very big difference. So, we know that we cannot avoid getting stressed, as it is a part of our daily lives. But we can surely cope and reduce stress. So, I hope I gave you so many good ways to help you reduce stress. And I hope every one of you guys have a stress-free life. Thank you. Marine biologist, doctor, engineer, or artist. These are all jobs, occupations, and careers. Family, friends, and most happily lives. Today I will speak about different types of jobs. What is the point of talking to this about kids? It's to show that each and every job is unique and important in its own way. Society can unfortunately take jobs on a hierarchy and make one seem more important than the other. I'm going to show otherwise. The Dalai Lama once said, if you think you're too small to make a difference, try something with a mosquito. Each and every job is important in ensuring the success of a community. The police, who we rely on to keep us safe. Nurses, who are the backbone of the healthcare system. Firefighters, who rush to every emergency, be it a car crash, a forest fire, or rescuing trapped animals. Also know that most of them might be dead from a disease if there wasn't a safe and sanitary removal of waste and dirt. The comfort of being able to stand here in a lighted and heated room is due to the impeccable work of utility workers. The pasta that I had for lunch yesterday didn't really crawl onto my plate. But it was the work of farmers, fishermen, and everybody in the agricultural world. The climate secretary's insistence? I'm sorry, but I don't care how smart, successful, powerful, or whatever some amazing jobs are. They would all not be as great if it weren't for someone who had their back. And of course, would anyone even be here without teachers? Just close your eyes and imagine. If any one job didn't exist in 2023, what would our world be like? Without the postal worker, or the carpenter, or the soldier in the military, or the telecommunications engineer, or the lawmaker, or a public speaking judge, all jobs and careers are important. Each one of them has to be valued and respected. When I'm an adult, I hope to work in a place where there's a variety of excitement and helping others is paramount. I envision being a lifelong learner and constantly educating myself about exciting new things and using this to help others.
étant plus petite, il doit encore respecter les grands. Le respect est quelque chose de très bien pour les autres. Même si tu es grande que petite, tu vas toujours dire bonjour. Même si tu es petite et tu vois quelqu'un à côté de toi qui est plus grande que toi, tu vas encore dire bonjour. Si tu as 37 ans et quelqu'un qui est 5 ans, tu dois dire bonjour à la personne qui est 50 ans parce qu'il est plus âgé que toi. Vous me dites quoi le respect? Le respect est quand s'il y a un bouton, il y a un 3 ans, et le bouton dit va chercher quelqu'un comme moi, Olivia, comme par exemple. Et il dit oui, d'accord, je vais le faire. Le non-respect est quand tu dis non, je ne veux pas le faire parce que tu es plus petit que moi, et blablabla, et toute cette rumeur que merci.
Last summer, I went on a school field trip to Wonderland. I was very excited as we waited in line to play in the bumper cars. We were already tuning up and making plans on the route to bump. Suddenly, my teacher pulled me out of the line to inform me that I may be too tall for the bumper cars. We went to check the height restrictions, and I was really disappointed. I have been looking forward to this ride all day, and now I couldn't go on it because of my height. That day, I didn't get to ride on the bumper, but instead ended up on another amazing ride, which was allowed only for people 5 feet or taller. I cannot forget the adrenaline I felt as I rode that scary roller coaster and came out as a ladies, gentlemen, and most honorable judges, how many of you would like to be taller? As someone who stands 6 foot at the age of 13, I can attest to the fact that being tall can be both a blessing and a nuisance. From being the first one picked for sports teams to constantly hitting my head on door frames, I have experienced it all. Today, I will share my experiences and perspective of being tall. First of all, let's talk about the obvious, the view. Being tall means that you can see over the heads of crowds at concerts and sporting events, giving you a front row experience without the front row ticket price. You'll never have to worry about craning your neck or standing on tippy toes just to get a glimpse of the stage. It also comes in handy in everyday life. Imagine going to the grocery store and being able to reach the top shelf without having to ask for help. Being tall also means you're less likely to need a stepladder to change a light bulb or to hang a picture on the wall. It's these small moments that make us feel powerful. However, there are also less obvious benefits to being tall. Various published studies have shown that taller people are more likely to be successful in their careers and earn higher salaries. This is because taller people have longer legs, which makes it easier for them to climb the corporate ladder. Jokes aside, tall people often exude confidence and command attention, which can be beneficial in professional settings. And being tall can give you confidence that can help you in presentations and interviews. Forbes magazine stated in a publication that researchers estimate that each additional centimeter of height is associated with a 1.3% increase in annual income. However, as much as being tall has benefits, it also comes with its own set of challenges. For one thing, finding clothes that fit can be a real struggle. And even when you do find clothes that fit, they can be more expensive than regular sizes. And don't even get me started on shoes. It's frustrating, and it can make shopping a perfectly fitted suit very challenging, especially for a public speaking competition. Another downside to being tall is that it can make certain activities more difficult. Fitting into small spaces such as cars can be a real struggle, particularly when you go on road trips with family. And finding comfortable seating on airplanes can be nearly impossible. It's hard to get comfortable on a long flight when your legs are cramped up against the seat in front of you. Lastly, being taller than others can also draw unwanted attention. People may stare or make assumptions about you based on your height. They might assume you're good at sports or that you're intimidating. It can be annoying to have people make judgments about you without getting to know you first. So, once again, how many of you would like to be tall? As I've come to appreciate that being tall isn't just about height. It's about standing tall in who you are and what you believe in. For me, this means it doesn't matter what size you come in. Tall, short, fat, or skinny, or what background we belong to. We all need to stand tall against discrimination, bullying, harassment, and racism. We need to respect others for who they are and feel proud of who we are. Thank you.
World. Money, cars, pet. Well, I'm a different. First impressions. Yes, first impressions are the most important thing in the world. Ladies, gentlemen, and most honorable judges, today I'll be showing all of you why first impressions are important to our success. A first impression is when you meet someone new and you get a sense of their personality. This could be whether they're nice, organized, etc. So, why is it so important? First impressions are important in many ways. Your first impression on a person could be their smile, their handshake, or the way they dress. This is important because it sets the tone of the initial interaction and the interactions thereafter. First impressions are also incredibly important in the business world. Your first impression of a salesperson trying to market you the next greatest service or product can be the difference between buying or continuing to browse down the line. And it's not just crucial in the business world. Imagine this. You just got back from lunch and barely into your job interview. You're shaking on your incredibly uncomfortable chair as you know you're not fully prepared. You then glance around the room and see all the other applicants who just want you on a job. And you start doubting yourself. This just makes nervousness worse. So you take 2 deep breaths. When suddenly an assistant opens the door and calls your name. You hastily pick up your resume and enter the intimidating room. you guys think? Did you guys think I showed signs of being an amazing speaker who was passionate about his project? I missed what you guys thought. Because of my first impression, I was not able to give you guys a sense that I was going to be able to speak. But hypothetically, what would have happened if I entered this stage with perfectly combed hair, an iron shirt, no distractions, and no signs of nervousness? Would I have been seen as a potential winner? I think I would. However, first impressions are not only based on your clothes or how you present yourself, but you enter the room. First impressions also have to rely on what you say, and this is based, to a certain extent, on how well you prepare. To help guarantee an amazing first impression, you should always follow these tips. Number 1, check for your wear is appropriate. Don't wear a khaki shirt to a job interview. Number 2, be open. Talk about what the other person wants to talk about. Don't only talk about what you want to talk about. Number 3, make sure you let the other person know that you have their undivided attention. With these 3 tips in mind, I assure you, you will make an amazing first impression. All in all, I think you can agree that first impressions are one of, if not the most important things in our social lives. I will now leave you with this magnificent and beautiful quote by Will Rogers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
And honorable judges. Today, I'm going to be talking about overcoming my fears and challenges. I was a little shy. I didn't want to talk to random strangers. I was scared to talk about myself in front of other people. Once when I was in kindergarten, I was on the stage with my friends. It was snow actually, and I was very scared. I was one of the 7 doors, and I only had 1 sentence to say. I was so scared and nervous. However, just last few months, I finally did it. That day was when I did my first ever speech contest, and it was my first time ever speaking in front of so many people and judges. Of course, I did forget my speech. I memorized all my splits and I was so confident about it. But when I arrived, I saw so many people and started to become more nervous than I was before. I was a little scared. What if I myself? Would people laugh at me? But I knew, no matter what, I had to do this. There was no giving up. Soon, I saw my mom looking towards me. She gave me a huge hug, comforted me, and taught me to use deep breaths to calm myself down. I aimed deep breaths and slowly exhaled. Relax myself and repeat it in the room. I got this. I was the 3rd one to give my speech. When I heard my number called, I took big and confident steps onto the stage. Standing in front of everybody, I heard the audience clapping loudly for me. My parents were looking at me, supporting me. I took several deep breaths, looked relaxed, and started my speech. When I finished, I felt amazing. Most importantly, I realized that it wasn't that bad at all. And when I overcame my fears, I felt very proud of myself. And there I was. I came in 3rd place and won $40. This was my first time ever using my own efforts to earn money. I was very glad and happy. I overcame my fears, challenged myself, and at this point, I realized that I'm not the shy person that I once was. I am my better self, and that makes me proud. I'm like a snail who is always climbing. Despite it being so low, there are always
jumps. Every meter they jump is always the route that leads to success. Like an eagle that flies meters by meters. Every meter is the brand new best record. To be your better self is to do the same as a snail. How to never give up on climbing and always keep positive. Like a frog, never stop jumping. Like an eagle, it always flies forward. To be my better self, I must challenge myself and be my best self possible. Have you had similar experiences as well? I have 2 great tips on how to overcome your fears. Tip number 1 is when you're about to have anything life-changing or very important, or you're not feeling very confident about it, just close your eyes and think of experiences that have been successful. Tip number 2 is for nervous occasions. When you're feeling nervous about something, you can do a little meditation, or you can sit or stand. Relax your body, empty your brain, and only night sky. Take deep and slow breaths. That can calm yourself down and get yourself nice and ready to go. Joshua J. Lee once said, "Challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful." Life is fun and epic with challenges all the way through. Today, I'm right here on the stage. It is a perfect example of overcoming my fears and challenging myself.
How many of us remember the Rogers blackout that took place last summer? Our internet was gone, we were left with no Wi-Fi, and everyone was panicked, flocking to the nearest Starbucks in hopes of receiving Wi-Fi. So what if I told you that I did not panic? That it was just a regular day for me? Wonder why? Not because I was a Bell customer, rather because I have no phone, I've never downloaded Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat, and I have no idea what TikTok is. Because in my life, I don't need technology. Family, friends, and most honorable judges, today I'm going to convince not only the parents, but students and fellow competitors as to why you don't need to be completely dependent on technology in this day and age. I grew up in a family where my parents wanted me to live a childhood like that. That meant no video games, no internet, and no social media. Even though we live in a world that revolves around the internet, the news, education, telecommunication, that's still no problem for me. I have a subscription from the Globe and Mail, and I get a physical newspaper delivered to my doorstep every morning. I catch all the Canadian and global news, analysis of the stock market, and reports on business. During my free time, I'm playing a board game with my brother, whether that be Monopoly, checkers, Jenga, or even sometimes table tennis. I'm also an avid reader, picking books off the shelf on leadership, business, and history. Trust me when I say that I don't miss out on anything without technology. But yes, when it comes to watching sports, doing homework, or learning how to write code, you will need to use technology. But do we really use technology to learn? Or do we use it for entertainment? Technology is an addiction. And like all addictions, there's one chemical in the brain that is affected. Yes, you guessed it, it's dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical which controls the feelings of pleasure, seek, and desire in a person. The pull of dopamine is so strong that studies have shown that tweeting is harder to resist than alcohol and cigarettes. Yes, you heard me right, folks. Tweeting, as in texting on Twitter, is harder to resist than alcohol and cigarettes. In Ontario, you're not allowed to drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes until 19. If technology is more harmful and has a stronger effect on the brain than alcohol and drugs, then those under the age of 19 should also be banned from having a phone or having access to social media and video games. Yes, banned. For teens and kids, we tend to spend the most amount of time a day on social media, watching TV, playing video games, texting or searching the internet. Children ages 8 to 12 spend 5 hours every day watching screens. And teens spend up to 9 hours. That means you're averaging a third of our life on technology that does not add any value to our lives. Steve Jobs, one of the co-founders of Apple, did not allow his kids to use the iPad. He believed that it was too dangerous for them to have. Same with Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft. He banned his kids from having the phone until they were mature teenagers. And at the dinner table, Bill Gates used to have real conversations with his kids, discussing books, history, and a variety of things. No one had their phones or their iPads out. I want you to picture this. You want to become a pilot. Now you cannot just go on a plane, wear a hat, and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, your captain speaking." No. You have to go to flight school, and you have to get proper training. And only after proper training, you can safely fly the plane to its final destination. Technology is the same. It requires proper training and education for proper use. If not, then we would be constantly addicted to our phones, and we'd be wasting valuable time. And because many children, teenagers, and parents don't have this type of training, we are glued and addicted to these devices. Technology is designed to be addictive. Even though it is not on purpose, it is the nature of these devices. Neil Postman, an American author who abstained from technology, said technology is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. This means that technology can help us achieve great things, but if we are not careful and responsible with it, it can control us in ways that we do not want. My experience growing up without technology has taught me that it is possible to live a fulfilling life without relying on screens and devices. It's important to remember that technology is just a tool, not a crutch. And by understanding its effects on our mental and physical well-being and using it responsibly, we can avoid the negative consequences of excessive technology use. Let us strive to find balance in our use of technology and not let it consume us, so that we can truly enjoy life to the fullest. Thank you.
High school researchers stated, for those who are homeschooled, high school is a 4-year asylum where we put kids because we have no idea what to do with them. Ladies, gentlemen, and most honorable judges, today I will be speaking about standardized testing. The vilest form of assessment can only be categorized as standardized testing. The test administered and created is only for students to achieve less than what they're capable of. Now, the vast majority of Canadians agree that these tests are not fair, but they're not able to explain why. In other circles of society, some agree that these tests are a fair comparison. But when analyzed and researched out, the problem with this demonized basic knowledge testing become apparent. Although action is limited in Canadian society, standardized testing should be put to an end due to limited educational resources and high state consequences. unlimited educational resources do not level the playing field for anyone and cancel any extra disadvantages. If you will, try to imagine America, where people from all over the world, races, ethnicities, classes are present. The only difference between them is their maps, which are used to navigate the course. While some have just a rough sketch of it, others have a detailed map that highlights any points in the course. As you can imagine, those with the highly detailed map have an easier time navigating through the course. They avoid any pitfalls and obstacles, and of course, they finish in a faster time. And those with the rough sketch do the exact opposite. They finish in a slower time, fall into any pitfalls and obstacles, and of course, are not able to navigate easily. With this simple analogy, it illustrates that those advantageous students are put to an advantage because of their quote-unquote detailed map, which is their extra tutoring and extra coursework. And those disadvantaged students are put to a disadvantage because of their lack thereof. Now, not only does it not level the playing field, but it counts out any extra disadvantages. For example, I had an extremely important test today. So important, it was worth 20% of my marks. So when the test day came, I woke up very sick. So sick that there's no possible way that I could go to school, right? So there I was at 9 o'clock in the morning, writing the exam with my head rumbling, my stomach gurgling, and you want to zoom out so I can go home and relax. And as all things must be, resulted. And I didn't deserve it. I felt this was extremely unfair because my illness had impacted my performance and is another contribution to why I think standardized testing, if not ended, should be considered. Of course, another factor to limit standardized testing is your high state consequences. In fact, these consequences are so high that college admissions, job applications, and school funding are all determined by this one thing. Many parents, just like yourself, feel that this is so unfair because it does not reflect the student's abilities and puts unnecessary pressure onto the student's mind. Now, has anyone here felt pressure? I know you probably all have since you're students, but me as an 11th grade student with 12th grade zooming in, with college applications zooming in, I'm worried that I'm not able to perform my best because of how much pressure is on my head. So now try to imagine a person with a learning disability or a test anxiety, those just as capable and intelligent, but unable to perform so. Or try to imagine a disadvantaged school with students just as intelligent and just as capable, but do not receive the same funding. It's important to recognize that standardized testing is not the only factor in determining important decisions. It's also important to determine that a person's individual circumstances, experiences, and challenges are all noteworthy factors in making decisions. Some tips I have for these schools would be to focus more on ability skills rather than the standardized tests that ask you the out-of-the-box questions. In conclusion, there are a variety of reasons why I think that standardized testing should be put to an end. Whether it be the high-stake consequences associated with such exams that put unnecessary pressure on students' minds, or whether the exam is culturally biased and do not take into account the external factors. In the end, the question begs to differ whether accountability should really be held if it undermines the larger goal of education. As we continue to debate and discuss this topic, it's important to keep an open mind and consider alternatives and reach towards a solution that benefits us all. Thank you.
Who offers some money towards the means and accommodations. Governor Ferdy has willingly given me a blank check. He said, do what you gotta do, get do co-sponsor that stay up in Sarnia for the winning. So this goes further, and it's good for the youths to enhance their ability in the public speaking. Right? So we work on that one. Please see me before you leave. Trophies are here. The district rules says that we keep it for a year. We had a hard time, but I know it's because of the pandemic. These were left in storage. Some of the contestants have not returned their trophies. I have developed a system where I would like to have the trophies back on the 15th of February 2024. I won't it here because I'm going to make you sign a contract before you leave. How would that? So we could go on again next year, the next year is going to follow up with smooth sailing, and we get it on the way. We have here, this one is French, another French, and two English. Okay.
A warm applause to our chairman of speaking in District A711. As I was sitting on my chair, I was amazed, and actually it's a very interesting thing because I also learned a lot of tips and tricks from these youngsters. So we always learn something from these young people, especially in technology. So I commend all our young people. You guys are doing a great job. Kudos to the parents, to the family as well. Without your support, they won't be here. So keep up with the good work. Continue encouraging your kids. They'll do great things in the future because this is our future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor Ferdy. We have